I am Dana Edell. I'm the Executive Director of Spark Movement. Spark is an intergenerational, international girls activist organization. We work with girls from all over the world, devising action campaigns, pushing back and challenging the sexualization of girls. I've been working with teenage girls since I was a teenage girl. I started volunteering at my undergraduate university. I went to Brown and started a program for incarcerated girls in Cranston, Rhode Island, doing theater, arts, poetry, dance workshops with teenage girls. And while in my MFA program, I started a project with a friend of mine in grad school, and we made an incredible theater production with a group of 8 girls that wrote and performed an original play. And then that first show became Vibe Theater Experience, which is a nonprofit organization that I started in 2002 and served as the executive director through 2012. Spark as a movement was launched in the spring of 2011, and I came on board as executive director. Spark actually started as a one-day summit in the fall of 2010. It came out of a report that was released from the American Psychological Association looking at the impact of sexualization on girls. And we had speakers such as Gina Davis and Gloria Steinem, as well as teenage girls speaking about the activist work that they're doing. And so we realized that Spark was actually not a one-day summit, but was a movement, was a much bigger organization. Spark is a very lean machine. Most of our expenses go towards paying our staff. We have a part-time program coordinator and a very part-time development director. And we have our team of 31 girls that each get paid as well. Funding for Spark comes from many different sources. Foundation support, individuals who have donated. We also published a curriculum that we sell, a curriculum on girls activism, and we recently signed a contract with Macmillan to write and publish a book on girls activism. Despite our very limited resources, Spark has had enormous success and impact on the world. We've published over 400 blog pieces where the girls write about their own experiences. Often the blogs will turn into action. So one of our very successful actions was to write a petition to 17 magazine demanding that they promise to never Photoshop girls' faces or bodies in the magazine. And that petition got over 85,000 signatures and led to a meeting with the editor of 17 magazine. And a couple of months later, in the letter from the editor promised to never Photoshop girls' faces or bodies in the magazine, which was incredibly thrilling and victorious for us. Girls from Spark have spoken out about girls' issues on Good Morning America, Katie Couric, CNN, and have been interviewed by the New York Times, the Huffington Post, the New York Daily News, and dozens of other major mainstream publications. Because it's really crucial that when we're talking about issues that are related to girls, that girls themselves are speaking from their own experiences. If you're thinking about starting your own nonprofit, there are lots of things that I've learned having done this twice myself. So Spark started with many partners. We don't have an office space, so we're constantly renting or borrowing space from partnering organizations and borrowing resources, sharing resources. There's no way that we could do this work alone. So I would recommend doing an assets mapping of your community. Look at what's already out there. What are people and organizations doing? And then look for where the holes are. What's missing in the equation? What skills and ideas do you have in mind that could fulfill a need that is not already being met in your community? That you need to test it out a little bit. You need to make sure that the programs or projects is actually viable and is actually going to get traction, that you're going to be able to fund it, that people will support it, that you'll be able to find participants. It's also really crucial to find some great mentors. You are not the first one to do this. It's also really important to make sure that you're documenting every victory and every success so that you can go back and share that with your funders, with your supporters, and start building the energy around how important your work is and what an impact it's actually having in the world. Also, the hardest and probably one of the most important parts of the job in running a nonprofit is really knowing how to ask for money and to really see fundraising as part of your mission, as part of spreading your passion for this issue so that you're not begging them for money, but you're inviting them to partner with you on ending this problem that you see in the world. Spark's #1 goal is to really change the conversation, and we can see it happening in different places. We can notice how the media is not sexualizing certain images in the same way, and it's also raising awareness about our need to critique the media and to think critically about what we're consuming every day. And so as we continue to put this pressure on corporations to make them more accountable, as we continue to empower girls to speak out about what they will not tolerate anymore and to talk about the world that they want to live in, then we're going to start to slowly see change happen.